Thank you, sirs. We shall now have a rendition of the Academy song by the Academy Choir of the 65th batch.
जीवन भाग्य विधाता, जय जन मंगल जय जन त्राता। नगर नगर में नूतन स्वर हो, जन मंगल आदर्श मुखर हो धन जन का समयक वितरण, हो धन जन का समयक वितरण। तृष्णा शुद्धा निवारण कारण, अमर रहे विद्यालय का स्वर। जन जीवन एक सूत्र था, जय जन मंगल जय जन त्राता। श्रम सीकर मैं सृष्टि हमारी, नव विकासमय दृष्टि हमारी। व्यक्ति ग्राम हित, ग्राम राष्ट्र हित, व्यक्ति ग्राम हित, ग्राम राष्ट्र हित। जन मंगल हित जीवन अर्पित, नूतन सृजन लक्ष्य हमारा। बहुजन हित हम कर आहरता, जय जन मंगल जय जन त्राता। जय जन जीवन भाग्य विधाता, जय जन मंगल जय जन त्राता। जय जन त्राता, जय जन त्राता।
Thank you. I now request Shri D.S. Saxena, Director General, NEDT, to deliver the welcome address and introduce our chief guest for today's ceremony.
Chairman CBDT, Shri Lakshman Das, ADGs of NADT, Shri R. Ravichandran and Shri GM Das, Course Director for the 64th batch, Shri Jayashankar, ACDs, Shri Mahesh, Srimati Kaumudi Patil, Commissioners of Income Tax, senior officers of other government departments, my colleagues from NADT, officers and officials of the Income Tax Department, officer trainees of the 65th batch of IRS, and most importantly, the officer trainees of the graduating 64th batch, their proud parents, relatives, and friends. I welcome you all to the valediction of the 64th batch of the Indian Revenue Service. I feel greatly honored to welcome our chief guest, Sri Lakshman Das, Chairman, CBDT. Sri Lakshman Das is an officer of the 1974 batch. He is a postgraduate in physics, the youngest in his batch. Sri Das always excelled in whatever position he occupied. He was posted to small places in UP and also to metropolises like Delhi and Bombay. He has commendably handled sensitive appointments both within the department and outside the department. He is a man of unimpeachable integrity. Though I know him for the last 30 years, I have never heard anyone say a bad word about him. In fact, Sri Das is a worthy role model for all of us to emulate. So far as the NADT is concerned, Sri Das has always supported our endeavors, and I hope he will continue to support our endeavors in the future also. I will also like to say a few words about the 64th batch. It is a large batch with people from diverse backgrounds, but it has excelled in all its activities. All officer trainees have passed their departmentals, and almost all of them and almost all of the officer trainees of the 64th batch have qualified for the degree of Master of Business Law from Nalsar University, Hyderabad. We, as senior officers, have very high hopes from them. I had many occasions to interact with the officer trainees of the 64th batch on the sports field. I always found them to be respectful, disciplined, and courteous. I was particularly moved when, day before yesterday, they held a function to honor the staff members associated with their batch. This is a great tradition, and I hope the 65th batch will carry it forward. These probationers have also exhibited commendable initiative and enterprise in renovating the Lal Bungalow, which was a derelict structure standing in the premises of the NADT. I hope that they would carry forward these qualities of head and heart to their future postings and would use them in their careers also. I would also like to commend the faculty and staff of NADT for making officers out of these boys and girls. Training such a large batch with people from diverse backgrounds was not an easy task. You can imagine the enormity of the task if I would add that we were always short of faculty members as also resources. As they go out today, I have a very simple message for these officers. The message is, do your best and success will follow. Our best wishes are always with you. Should you require any assistance in the future also, we are there for you. Lastly, I would like to share a sad news. All of you would have seen the name of Sri N.R. Narayan Murthy on your invitation cards. Sri Narayan Murthy is not here with us because his mother passed away a couple of days ago. May her soul rest in peace. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you, sir. बहन बहता थल करे बहन बहोय, साहब हाथ बढ़ाइया, जस भावे तस होय, says Kabir Das. He can make the flowing water turn still and can make the still water flowing. When the grace of the Guru showers on a disciple, the disciple gets molded as per the Guru's wish. Ladies and gentlemen, the course director is like a friend, philosopher, and guide to the officer trainees. For 16 months, he mentors them intensively to ensure that they get ready to face the numerous challenges of the future. I now request Shri N. Jaishankar, course director for the passing out batch, to kindly present a report on the 64th induction course. Sir.
Respected Chief Guest, Chairman CBDT Shri Lakshman Das, Director General NEDT Shri D.S. Saxena, ADG to NEDT Shri R. Ravichandran, Shri G.G. Shukla, erstwhile TCIT, who is present in the audience with us today, Dr. G.M. Ross, Commissioner of Income Tax, OSD, other faculty members, senior officers from within and without the department, members of the print and electronic media, officer trainees of the 65th batch of the IRS who have done all the spade, ground and legwork towards the impressive arrangements and festivities that we see around. And most importantly, my dear officers from the graduating batch of IRS, the 64th, ladies and gentlemen, I stand before these unprecedented numbers of well-wishers with immense gratitude, happiness, and a complex mix of emotions to deliver the course report on the induction training program of the 64th batch of the IRS. These officer trainees represent a heterogeneous mix along age, family history, professional experience, language, culture, skills, competencies, technical, technological proficiencies, and personality profiles. When they arrived at the NADT, they were already mature, competent, and determined. Each had dreamed, labored, and achieved, and knew what he or she wanted. Consequently, each was an unheralded stone, fresh from the UPSC mine, alive with promise, brooking no opposition, and ready for battle if required. Training them was like outrunning Usain Bolt, outperforming Warren Buffett, and outshining Sachin Tendulkar all at once. If you're good at physics, then I'll throw Sanskrit literature at you, and let me see what you can do. Mr. Course Director seemed a likely challenge. I looked like a man all dressed up and nowhere to go. Consequently, this was one responsibility which I accepted with trepidation. Today I am here before you, unbruised, unhurt, and alive, to tell you what transpired. In other words, what did the officer trainees do during training? Induction training of civil servants lies beyond information cramming, statistical jugglery, and self-congratulatory backslapping. An IRS officer must be nothing less than lion-hearted. Job complexities and challenges are wider in range and scope, deeper in impact, and more convoluted in terrain and functional interconnectedness than most other jobs. He must see beyond what the eye can see, and hear, think, and feel beyond what the ears and mind can. Consequently, an organic, objective-oriented training template is needed, along with assistance to take it to its logical end. Assistance came in the form of two officers of impeccable credentials and outstanding personal qualities, namely my ACDs, Sri K.M. Mahesh and Dr. Kaumudi Patil. And the high-throughput batch office they scientifically ran. Guidance, support, and advice from seniors and peers were a benediction. The philosophical canvas required to succeed in such a venture was conceptualized and codified, and a detailed induction program manual crafted. The batch logo of 64 leaves arising from a tree of antiquity, if not eternity, along with 64 concentric circles ascending to an apex, signifies continuity and rise. The batch's motto, towards maximum, signifies excellence unbounded, admixed with challenges and realism. The 6+4 maxims of the batch venerate the importance of maximizing the moment and the fallibility and imponderability of complaining, excuse mongering, and expectation chasing. Contribution maximization is the principal objective of the civil servant. The overweening desire must be to maximize collective interest and to sacrifice one's own individual interest if needed to this cause. For this purpose, no fraction of God is each endowed with, for God is infractionable. His entire indivisible, unspeakable Godhood is endowed in each. What greater heritage can each aspire to have? Who or what can hinder each from living his life and its purpose thereunto except his own timidity and blindness? Constant remembrance of this truth is the key to life's answer. Leading the charge towards the objective of contribution maximization must bring out the leader across territories in the officer trainee. For him, nothing exists in isolation. Every stakeholder is his master as well as his assistant. He is his master's master and his assistant's assistant. His professional role encompasses the organic universality of existence, gratitude for the opportunity to contribute, humility towards all teachers of the universe, compassion towards the less endowed and fortunate, and sacrifices of the body, mind, soul, and time are the functional pillars of the contribution maximizing training grid. These enhance overall productivity and value. All officer trainees have been trained to rise beyond the narrowness of creeds and beliefs and sanctify objectivity, courage, and a sense of social responsibility as their presiding deities. Vision, energy, and discipline were made the watchwords. Credentialism and jingoistic exclusivism were discouraged. Love for the job at hand and the responsibilities of the future and happy acceptance of timings and challenges were ingrained. The officer trainees were made to know that happiness is never a derived state of mind from outside, but an inner principle. Whoever cannot find a temple in his heart, the same can never find a temple in any temple or anywhere else. Outward directed creative expression of the self proceeded hand in hand with introspective fusion with the self. Academic abstractions integrated with experiential involvement. Philosophy merged into spirit. Quality and integrity, professional and intellectual, were consecrated. The officer trainees strove to maximize the productivity and quality of every continuing moment. In every sense, their contributions, performance, and evaluation were continuous upward. Towards all the above, this program has several firsts to its credit. Integral scheduling and coding, scientific internal reorganization and comprehensive evaluation, enhanced variety of objective group activities, and enhanced external outreach including attachments are among these. The existing academic papers were scientifically distributed amongst 13 established subjects that make up the DNA and muscle and bone of the department, such as economics, law, quantitative techniques, accounting, operations, marketing, finance, resources, and information technology. Codes were subjects, paper, topic, and subtopic were introduced. Additional topics in advance supported and bolstered this academic edifice. Specially designed classwork titled Computer Nirvana embellished the computing and infotech map work. Quantitative skills were imparted in statistics and operations. Special language classes with the intent to improve drafting and communicating proficiencies were included. Innovative interactive practices including quizzes, Sudoku games, and other activities were employed. A comprehensive internal evaluation system called the NADT System for Internal Assessment or NSIA based on group, cohort, syndicate, and house-based activities that provided greater interaction and synergies amongst officer trainees was implemented. Besides objectivizing almost every component of continuous evaluation, it enhanced participation and improved group dynamics. A cohort of 5 to 6 member group formed out of geographically, culturally, and disparate individuals to simulate real situations where team-based effort is the norm, gel together, and diversify the apprehensions and risks born out of examination and academics-related stresses. Many class exercises, including examinations, were conducted as cohort-based exercises. The syndicate is a 12-13 member group constituted to conduct projects and assignments. 4 houses, respectively named after Sri V.R. Akerkar, Sri V.V. Badami, Sri V.R. and Sri C.C. Ganapati, training doyens of yesteryears, were set up with 37 to 38 OTs in each to promote healthy contests and inspirational searches. Each house was made to sport respective colors and insignias. Computer cohorts, each again with 5 to 6 OTs, were set up to acquire progress in computing and IT skills through experiential self-learning. The clubs and societies were reorganized under the 4 activity nodes, each activity node headed by a secretary. New clubs dedicated to music, computer, and ICT education, dance and rhythms, language and literature, and health and wellness were constituted. Large numbers of high-quality activities and interactions inspired increased participation levels. These include brown bags to increase interest in serious academics and research, inspirations to disseminate and internalize the messages of great persons and enhance humility, value, and personality, seminars, team-based presentations with technocentric audiovisual aids, book review sessions debated by cohorts and syndicate projects. Detailed rules and evaluation guidelines drawn and circulated in respect of each of these exercises help synthesize involvement and quality. Every working day for the first 15 minutes, all trainees participated in Looking Glass that created a synergistic cadence to reflect on the infinite backdrop and essential oneness of life. The activities included discussions on important official matters, video, audio clippings from the physical and social sciences and the philosophies, and meditative and introspective silences and rhythms. The visits cum field trips called attachments, various topical areas were increased. Leading institutions visited included the National Law School of India, University, Bangalore, the Infosys Training Center, Mysore, the Indian School of Business, Hyderabad, and RBI, SEBI, MCX, NSDL, BSc, and NSC at Mumbai. These provided enhanced perspective and sharper focus in law, information technology, gender issues, management, investigation, and enforcement. The international attachment was increased to 2 weeks. The trainees witnessed the functioning of foreign jurisdictions and tax systems to prepare them to handle tasks related to cross-border transactions. In a first for the academy and for the civil services, the officer trainees attended a week's attachment in Atlanta, USA, where they interacted with and learned from the US Internal Revenue Service, the World Bank, experts from the world of finance, business, commerce, and taxation, university professors, and multinational corporations like Coca-Cola and CNN. This was followed by a week's attachment with overseas tax jurisdictions in South Africa, Netherlands, Australia, and Malaysia. To describe what has been done and further needs to be done implicitly recognizes incompleteness if merely understood through narrative.